Hey everybody, and welcome back to another show and tell video. My name is Megan of TOEcreations, and this is my second knitting show and tell video. Today I have a couple finished objects to show you, quite a few fails to talk about, a current whip that I'm working on, some future knitting, and I also have some yarn to show you. So let's just get on into it. So I'm really thinking that I need a section in my knitting videos called fails, because I have a ton of fails. I guess it comes with the territory of learning a new craft, and on top of that, teaching yourself this new craft. So as you can recall in the last video, which my last video was a while ago, and I don't remember what all I talked about on it, so if I become repetitive in this one, I apologize. But a big issue that I have been having is having to do with my gauge. I have a lot of adult sized hats coming out baby hats. It's just not working. So I have two examples here that I'll show you, and the first one is the Crescendo hat, which is an Erin Donahue pattern. This hat was gifted to me by Hooks and Needles, Mari. Hi, Mari. And so I don't think I had it done in the last video, but it was almost done. And well, now I can't even remember. Now I think it was done. Beside the point, it's gonna go with what I'm talking about. So it's just baby, like, it's not even like the palm of my hand. It turned out baby small, and it wasn't the pattern, it was all user error. It was all me. And what's a shame is that it's a beautiful hat. Like, I know it's black. Oh, you can kind of see it, but it's got a beautiful texture on it, and I really want to make another one of these once I figure out what the heck's going on. So fail number one. Second fail, I did the Horizon hat, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Emily Dormier. And it looks like that. You can't see if it's in the frame or not. Hopefully it is. So again, that's a free pattern. And I think this hat is so cute. I love the colors that I did, and I really had high hopes of it working out. Another baby-sized hat. Look how small it is. This one's a little bit bigger. My fingertips are poking out, but isn't that cute? So, fail number two. Although I can almost get my head in there. Almost. But I was really upset. This one really put me down. I got really discouraged after that one because I really thought I had it that time. So after these two hats, I got researching and looking into it, like, what am I doing wrong? I don't really have very many real life friends that knit. And so I didn't really have anybody to bounce ideas off of and sit down and actually watch them or have them watch me knit. And I was on my own. I was just kind of on my own. But anyways, so I ended up watching some videos by VeryPink Knits, which she is absolutely amazing. Her tutorials are very lovely and easy to follow and understand. They're very enlightening to a newbie like me, and she just seems to have a video for every single question that I have, which is just, she's like a library. And so I find that so incredibly helpful. And one of the things that she talked about was when you cast on, a problem could be putting your stitches too close together, which I went back and looked at it, and that's what I did. When I would cast on, my stitches would butt up against each other. And so I tried to make it a point to pay attention to myself knitting and make sure that I'm not pulling on my stitches, kind of tightening them down, and making sure that I have that space in between. So I did, to test this theory out, I did another free pattern hat off of Ravelry, which was called the Bulky Waffle Hat, and it is by Linda Suda. I believe is how you say her name. And first off, let's just talk about the color. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I would tell you what the color is, but I don't have the band with me. I'll look it up and put it on the screen. But it's a Lion brand yarn, and oh my gosh, this color is just beautiful. I'm definitely gonna have to get me some more of this. But yeah, so I tested the theory out, and it fits. It fits me. I'm gonna, to celebrate this occasion, I'm gonna have to try it on. Grandma, look, it fits. I really like it. Now, so the brim around here was done in a 10, and the rest of the hat was done in a 10.5. I think I want to make another hat, another one of these, and try maybe a 9 on the brim. I like my hats to be more snug. I don't know if it's just because I have a lot of hair and it's thick, and so I don't want to, you know, turn my head or look up and have the hat be sliding around my head, because that's what happens on a lot of sock hats and a lot of hats like these, is they just don't stay put, and I want my hat to stay put. So I'm gonna try that next. One of the questions I have about it is if I'm really doing it or not, because the size that I made was for a child, and obviously it's bigger than that because it fits my head. But one of the things that has me thinking that I'm okay is that there are quite a handful of people in the comments. Like if you went back and, hey bud,
what are you doing?
I'm making a crochet video for Grandma.
Okay, what are you doing now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And take a picture of me.
You're on a video.
Hi. What are you doing?
I'm making a video. Bye. Bye.
No, I want to keep a book. Before we...
Alright. Bye. So the only thing that has me thinking that I still did this right is because if you go to the pattern and you look through other people's projects and read what they write, a lot of people were saying how they did the child size and it turned out large enough for an adult. So I feel like I'm with everyone else on this one, and I'm not, you know, over here by myself making little preemie hats when I'm trying to make an adult hat. So there's hope. There is hope. Oh my goodness. So this was a huge, this was a big deal for me, and yeah, I'm just so happy. I don't know what to say. But so there's that one, and like I said, I'm going to make another one of these and see how it does, and yeah. So because I had a successful hat, I also want to try another Horizon hat at some point, and I would also like to try a gifted pattern from a viewer who is Tammy from Ohio. Hi Tammy. And this was a while ago, she she gifted me a Erin Donahue hat pattern called Spursed, and so I didn't want to try it yet because I didn't want it to end up like these. So I wanted to wait until I had an idea of what was going on and what my problem was before I attempted any more, at least worsted weight hats. I figured doing bulky weight hats would be a little easier, kind of that instant gratification, because they just whip up so much quicker. So those are my hats that I've been working on. I do have a finished object from the my last video, and that's my dish rag. Ta-da! This is the Copycat dishcloth. It is a Leah Michelle Designs. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. And this wash rag, I haven't used it yet because I've been wanting to show you on the video. But it's really fun to look at because I started the dish rag when this was the first thing that I knitted. Knit. And so I knit like halfway through it, and then I put it aside and, you know, knit some other things, and then came back and finished it. Well, if you look at it, look how tighter it is on this side, and look how looser it is on this side. It's it's so wonky, but I think it's really fun to look at because you get to see well, that I'm loosening up a little bit. I'm not so uptight about it. So I think, to me, this is like a progress shot that I'm improving. I'm becoming more comfortable with knitting and kind of finding my own rhythm with it. So that was kind of fun. So like I said in the last video, I held myself accountable to finish it, and I finished it. So that was good. And that's pretty much all of my finished objects that I have. I do have one whip, which I will show you. And believe it or not, it's a baby blanket. Yeah, didn't really expect to be making a blanket, but I just got wound up and I found a pattern that I really liked, and I thought I'd give it a whirl. This blanket is not intended for anybody right now. I do have a friend who is expecting, but she doesn't know what she's having yet. So depending the outcome of that, maybe it'll be for her. I hope so. But I am doing the Free Sunny Baby Blanket knitting pattern. It is a free pattern off Ravelry, and unfortunately I don't think I wrote down on here who it is by, but I will put that on there. And this is not something that I'm continually working on. It's more of a side project. So when I get discouraged from my hats, or if I just want to break up something and just, you know, work on something else for a few minutes, I'll pull this out and do, you know, 1 or 2 rows. But so far, this is what it looks like. So really what the pattern is it'll just be like this continued up. So it makes it's just a mix of knits and purls to make those little boxes. The yarn that I am using is from Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn, and it is a print, and it is called Sherbet Stripe. The color looks like that. I had got a bunch of this yarn a while ago to make a different blanket, and I never made it. It was a Tunisian crochet blanket, and I just never made it, and right now I'm just not in the mood to do Tunisian crochet, so I repurposed it for a knitting blanket. So I'm really excited to see how that goes, although I really think it's going to take forever. I looked at the pattern, and to help me, I don't use a row counter or anything like that. I like to use graph paper or paper to track my progress. And so what I did, each box is a row. So that is a ton of rows. So as you can see, I'm not very far in it. And so to help me keep track, all the pink boxes are rows that I knit on, and all of the purple boxes are what I would call like the special rows, or the rows that include purling. And so underneath is the sequence of it. So, and then I wrote down what needle size I'm using and the yarn I'm using, and my start date, which apparently was March 5th. So as you can see, I'm not working very, I'm not I'm not hustling on this very much at all, and I'm totally okay with that. So that is a nice kind of a, just kind of a unwind project that I'm working on. So I guess before I jump into purchases, I got some new yarn here lately. I'll talk about some future knitting. I know I mentioned a few things that I wanted to try hat-wise. I know in my last video I was all wound up about shawls, wasn't I? I was all gung-ho about shawls, wanting to cast them all on. But after the whole hat incident, it really kind of burnt me out on a lot on that enthusiasm, just because I just couldn't figure it out. I had to, you know, fix that problem before I could really enjoy myself. So, I would like to cast on the Raina shawl, and I'll show you a yarn that I had bought that I was planning on using. And I'm also going to be casting on some socks for my husband finally. He has been incredibly patient waiting for me to make him some hunting socks for him. And so I finally, gosh, like 2 days ago, took the time and measured his feet, and I had to order some new circulars. I use 9-inch circulars to make socks. Well, I shouldn't say to make socks because I've never made socks, but I'm wanting to use 9-inch circulars, and they're supposed to come today in the mail. So I'm just doing a plain Jane vanilla sock for him, and I'm using fisherman's wool from Lion Brand. I wanted something a little thicker than the fingering weight, and you like the color of this. This is the colors Nature's Brown, and I'm also, whoop, I know the sun's starting to come out here. And I'm also going to be getting like an off-white color. I think it's called Oatmeal, but I'm probably going to be picking that up tomorrow because I want to do contrasting heels and toes for him. So there's that. So hopefully he'll have some hunting socks before he goes pheasant hunting in October. What else? Oh, my one socks. I was working on socks in my last video. I frogged them. I got maybe this far into it, and they didn't fit. I couldn't get them. I couldn't get my foot in them. So going again with the gauge. So I do want to. I'll get into that in a little bit. Let's talk about yarn. Who doesn't like talking about yarn? So back in April, I went to a fiber event. Every year they have the Green Castle Fiber event, which is held at our fairgrounds here. And I don't have anything to compare it to, but to me, I would consider it to be a smaller end fiber event. But I do believe it was bigger than last year. So maybe it's something that is just, that will continually grow, which would be totally awesome. This was my second year going, and it's so much fun. I love walking around and seeing all the things that people have, and it's just amazing the things that they have. And this year I believe there was more vendors and a lot more stuff available. So it's so hard I keep with the rule of one purchase. Plain and simple, one purchase that I walk away with. So this year was tough. Last year I didn't really find anything that I was interested in, but this year was tough because I found tons of things that I wanted. But I ended up settling on some Leading Men Fiber Arts. Here's the card. Amber from the Yarn Hoarder podcast talks about these guys almost religiously. She talks about them all the time. So when I saw them there at the fiber event, I immediately ran over there to see what all they had. Their colors are beautiful, and I can see why she talks so highly of their work and their yarns. But so I ended up walking away with a sock blank from them. So it's really big, so I'll just kind of pan it across. So that's that. So Grandma, I don't know if you know what a sock blank is. basically what it is this whole panel is stockinette stitch. That's all it is. And what they do is they stitch this up and then they dye it like this. Whether, you know, they're just pouring it on there, spraying it on there. Sometimes they paint pictures, different pictures on it, which some are really pretty. And then what you do is you, on one of the edges, you just pull it and then you knit from here. And then it slowly unravels. And so basically your yarn is like this instead of, you know, in a ball like this. So I have never had a sock blank before, and I see people talking about them and showing off theirs, and it's just something I've always wanted to try. So I am a huge teal fan, and these colors just kind of all, when I saw it, I didn't even hesitate. I was like, that's it, that's what I'm getting. So I'm very excited to put this to work. So that was my one purchase from the fiber event. And then I got some Barocco yarn, which I had never had before. Barocco socks. It's 75% superwash wool, 95% nylon. This color, they don't have names, but this color is 1462. And I am in love with this. Again, the colors just, when I saw the colors, I was just like, yep, need to have it. Hey, it matches my shirt pretty good. So these are, this is what I want to make socks with for me. So maybe use my husband as a guinea pig and then I'll make good socks for me. Don't tell him I said that. And lastly, it's going to get crinkly here for a minute. I finally made my first well, besides the Leading Man Fiber Arts, my first hand-dyed yarn purchase. This is two separate purchases that I have made. And it is from a yarn dyer who I have been watching for what seems like forever. Lolodidit. I feel like I've spent years just drooling over her yarn. I just think her colors are just absolutely beautiful. And her personality is just one in a million. She just seems like the nicest lady. And her husband too. So right now she is doing a Walking Dead series of yarn. So she is dyeing yarn based off characters or, you know, things based off the television show The Walking Dead, which I absolutely love. But you can't talk about it on any of the comments here because I am like a season behind. So we don't have television here, and so I get to watch it like when it gets put on Netflix, or when my grandma, or not my grandma, my mother-in-law, she's gonna kill me if she hears that I said that. When my mother-in-law gets the DVD, you know, season. So, shh, don't talk about it. But anyways, I have two of hers from the Walking Dead series. I have I Heart Maggie, which is, it's going to be blown out because of the sun. I wonder if I could. So there's that one, which is really pretty. And then the I Heart Daryl one. I just can't. I guess I'll do it back here. But it's got like the teals in it. Man, I wish it showed up better because it's so pretty. You'll just have to go check out her website or look her up on Instagram. She has tons of pictures on Instagram of all her yarns. So there's those two. And then this one is called Harley. And I really like this one. It's just kind of the orange, white, and grays. And this one is hard to tell. It's on a sparkle base. I don't know if you can see the specks in it or not. Her sparkle base, at least her, hold on, let me spit this out. Hear me through real quick. Her sparkle base is very minimal. It's not flashy. It's not in your face, you know, bling, but it's very subtle is the word I'm looking for. But since I bought this, she is in the process of getting a new, more sparkly sparkle yarn. So I'm not sure if that is in effect yet, but from last I heard, she was in the process of using up her inventory of her sparkle yarn, and then she'll be moving to a new sparkle base. So, sorry, it's so crinkly. So, those are my Lolodidits. My very first and probably not my last yarn additions. So yeah, that pretty much sums me up right now. We have vacation coming up in about a month. I have dubbed it the Vacation of Socks. So that's the only project I plan on taking with us to vacation. We are heading to sunny Florida for the week, and yeah, I didn't want to have to worry about taking a ton of yarn and stuff like that. So I'm thinking small and simple socks. So I'll be working on those, and want to say thank you to everyone who wished me well on the farmers market last weekend. It was my first day of the 2017 farmers market, and unfortunately the weather was horrible. It was cold and it ended up raining, and not many people showed up. So but it was still fun. It was fun seeing a bunch of the gals that I haven't seen in a while since last year, and just kind of getting back into the swing of it. So thank you to all of you. And I also wanted to run an idea by y'all, and that is I'm thinking about opening a Ravelry group. Tell me your thoughts on that. I have a couple of you that interact with me on different social media sites, whether it be here on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, and which is fine, which is totally fine. But I'm just wondering if maybe I should just pick a spot, and so it can all be in one spot. I know I don't always get notifications of you guys messaging me, and I hate that because some of you are asking questions and I'm not getting in them very quickly, and but I do read everything that you guys comment on, and I try to respond on everything. So I'm kind of leaning towards it. I think it would be kind of fun. I know in the future I'd like to start having some giveaways, and I think that would make it a lot more easier to do that through a Ravelry group than here just like in the comments and stuff like that. So I'm actually coming up on 400 subscribers, which is absolutely mind-blowing. For those of you who are new and didn't maybe watch the earlier videos, I started making these videos to show my grandma all the things that I were crocheting and knitting and sewing, so she could see it kind of in real time and not just have to hear me talk about it. So it was just something for my grandma. And then it turned out people liked watching them too. So it's been fun. I really I really enjoy doing this, and kind of just want to take it to the next level now and start interacting more with you all and not just my grandma. So yeah, I think that might be in the works here soon. And I also want to take a minute to wish my grandpa, who is the stud of my life, a happy early birthday. He will be turning 94 here in a few days. And so, Grandpa, I just want to tell you, you have been nothing but a blessing on this earth for 94 years. And I love you so much. And I hope you have the best birthday ever. And I wish I could be there with you, but know that I am thinking of you always, and just that I love you, stud. So with that, I want to say that you guys can find me elsewhere besides here on YouTube. You can find me as TOEcreations on Instagram, Ravelry, and Facebook. And as always, I will talk to you soon. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.